Hey everyone, my name's Eddie. Today we are going to talk about wind foils. It's what everyone is talking about, and more specifically, we figured today was a good time for a showdown. In this case, taking Starboard's ever popular GT foil, which targets the everyman, and putting it up against the team set, which is a step-up version, which offers a slightly longer mast and two fuselages and two sets of wings. With me is Starboard's main man, ADRIEN. ADRIEN, have you ever done a face-off like this?
Never, Eddie. I've sailed both of these foils separately, but never together. So I'm really interested to see how the difference in the length of the mast, the fuselage setup pays out. So I'm excited to get some answers today.
Nice, nice. And today we're going to be utilizing the Starboard Hydrofoil 147 model. We'll talk about that a little bit. We're also going to be using SAILWORKS Flyer, a foil-specific sail, a first for me to ride. I know it doesn't look windy behind me. It's coming. Let's go hit the water, ADRIEN.
Right on, Eddie.
All right. The wind did come, not much, but actually that could be a good thing because everyone's talking about wind foiling and just how light of winds you can go out in. And yesterday I took the anemometer out there. The biggest gust we got was about 13 miles an hour. And there were times where the anemometer went down to about 4 miles an hour. Great conditions to test this GT against the Starboard team set. ADRIEN, let's cut to it because the common questions we get are about mast length and fuselage. In comparing these two head to head, what were the differences you found?
So I found with the longer mast, I definitely felt more power underneath the board. So that was with the team set and the race configuration here. I just felt like the board was tracking and offering more push back on my pumping when I was getting up and going. I found a noticeable difference in upwind performance between the team set and the race setup and the GT. I would say 10 to 15 degrees higher on the race setup. That was definitely significant.
And we should mention both of these are utilizing the same front wing.
Same front wing, yeah, Eddie, and we've got just the 115 fuselage on the team set currently with the smaller back wing.
Great, and so you mentioned more power. Did that translate into better rise ability and less wind, perhaps less pumping?
I found so. I found that the takeoff with the race and the team set was more significant. And with the GT, it was a bit more subtle for me. I needed to get a bit more board speed, and then it was kind of a gentler rise. It was less intimidating in that way.
Great, and so I know a lot of people, they look at mast length and there's some peril to that, you know, especially if you're getting into foiling, you're worried about maybe foiling out. The board rises out of the water, the front wing does, down you go. Did you feel that peril riding that, or was it minimized some by the board you were on? Or?
Well, the landings did feel a little bit harsher on the team set, but with that being said, at no point did I go over the handlebars, and, you know, I think a lot of that is due to the board. And would you agree that the bigger board just makes it easy in that respect?
Yeah, I'd say the foil dedicated boards, in this one in particular, where the nose is really designed as it crashes down to skip you right back out of the water and not auger in. This was the first foil board here at Big Winds that we decided that we should rent these out, and we would rent them out to most anyone, largely because there wasn't so much peril of going over the handlebars, of crashing, as I did learning on smaller boards. But let's get back to the foils here, ADRIEN, because these are two unique foil setups. Who do you think each one best suits? I mean, why would someone opt for a GT versus the team set?
Well, we've got to remember that with the with the team set, we have the ability to then tune the different options. So there is a lot of range in this package. We just tried the one option.
Right.
With that being said, the GT like I said, for me it felt a bit more forgiving, a little easier, and when the wind did pick up, the team set in the race setup was scary. It was fast, it wanted to go upwind, there was a lot of power there. And so if I had to pick one foil to cover most of my foiling conditions, that would probably still be the GT.
The GT.
Yeah, if I had a bit more money to spend, and I knew I was going to be foiling a lot, and I wanted to start foiling in higher winds too, where I could go to a smaller front wing, smaller fuselage, the team set is the no-brainer there.
Now, I know someone's going to look at this comparison and say, why aren't we using the big back wing on that team set if we're in such light winds?
That's a great question, Eddie. We've tried it before. It's overkill. You've got so much leverage with that big fuselage that if you put that big back wing on, you can try it, but it's going to take off so early and the board just wants to go upwind. It becomes too much power to handle otherwise.
Okay. So, thank you so much for coming. This sail behind me, the flyer from SAILWORKS, I'm going to talk about that in a different video because it was a real eye-opener for me, and just to tease that, it made foiling quite a bit easier. I've been doing it only on wave sails thus far. Yesterday was a bit of a revelation. Again, another video. But until then, I want to let you all know that everything you see here is available at Big Winds. If you guys have any questions about wind foiling in general, give us a call at 541-386-6086. Adrian, thanks so much for coming.
Eddie, I'm glad we could score.
You got me out of the office. We went wind foiling.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.